Hey, hey, hey. Welcome
Hey
to
now.
Girl Chat Sports, Mo and Mel. It's Wednesday, West Coast Wednesdays. We're a little delayed today, and that's my bad. Sometimes you got some stuff to do and handle, and
Right.
luckily we're from the comforts of home, so we can change the time at any time.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, but I know you might have taken care of it today too, but just to let you guys know, it is time to vote.
Yes. Let this be your voice.
Yes.
Let this be your voice.
Make it
Let this
happen.
be your
Early
voice.
voting is going down. What I like to do is do my fill in and then drop it in the box at the polling place. So I know it's not taking the mail 2 years to get there. It's not going to get lost in the mail. And also saves me time from having to sit in there or sit in a line, because if there are big lines, all you got to do is say, hey, I'm dropping off a ballot. And they let you go right to the front and drop it in.
Right.
So make it
And
happen. There's no excuses. There's a lot of candidates that we need to try and not allow in office if possible. So
a lot of questions that we need
a
to
lot of
have a yes
questions.
answer
Yes.
to. You know what I
Shout out to
mean?
Sarah in Nevada
Yeah.
now,
Shout
my
out to
girlfriend
Sarah.
Sarah Evans, for Saturday. I got to speak a little bit at their rally for question number 1. Please vote yes for question number 1, because it is for equal rights amendment to our Constitution, for the Nevada State Constitution. Make it happen. Let's just go. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. We appreciate you joining in. Kinte's already here. We appreciate you, Kinte. And yeah, so we got a good show in store for you right now. There were some topics I wanted to go over. We got some hot topics. We got some stuff going on, but and it's also Nevada Day on Friday. And for all of those people that live in Las Vegas or live in Nevada, for most of us, it's a free holiday. It's a holiday off. So Nevada Day on Friday means an extra long weekend for me, because I already have Mondays off. So I'm going to enjoy these 4 days. Why I didn't plan a trip back home to Seattle for this Giants game is beyond my reasoning. But hey, it's here, it's happening, and happy Halloween to everybody. We didn't dress up today, but me and Mo love our holiday as well.
I love
All
Halloween.
right.
I forgot all about that.
I know. We always dress up, and I totally
I totally
spaced
spaced it. I
it.
had a busy
Totally
day today.
spaced it.
Like I
We
had
might
stuff to
just have
do.
to do like a belated Halloween and just maybe dress up next week.
Maybe. I
You
mean,
know,
once the
November
spirit goes,
1st,
I'm over
like
it. But this is like my time of year. I love this holiday, you know?
exactly, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so let's get it started. Hot topic number 1. Of course, we talked about it before. Brittany Griner got denied her appeal this Tuesday. She today has officially been detained for 251 days. So, as anticipated, though, most people believe that the denial would happen for her appeal, and that the U.S. believes that eventually she will get sent to the U.S. with a prisoner swap. However, Russia continues to fail in responding to their significant offer that was made back in June. We're still waiting to get any information on that. The scary part now, though, is she's been detained in a detention center outside of Moscow, which, not to say is a great luxury, but compared to what she could be facing to spend her rest of her sentence at, it is. I read this whole article based upon the Russian penal colonies where they serve out their sentences.
Hmm.
Sometimes it required or forced to work 16-hour days, 16-hour days,
What
no
type of
load
labor
management.
though?
Manual labor. They also are forced to watch state propaganda, which of course is an issue in itself. Realize she just got one of those 6'6" or 6'8" mattresses recently to her detention in the detention center. We don't even know what that's going to be like when she moves into one of these penal colonies, which are kind of like how do they describe it? They described it as like a barrack style, dorm style complexes that basically the US Department of State made a report last year that there was overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, insecure heating, and food shortages, not to mention on top of it, LGBTQ plus prisoners were often targeted in attacks there in those penal colonies. So that's a little scary.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
very unfortunate. I mean, this thing is just crazy. It's just really crazy. Like, you're thinking, like, how did you even get, like, how did we get here? Like, I mean, she's
and they
clearly
should
a pawn. She's clearly a pawn for this because
absolutely.
of the trades. By, like, we can't say that Ariane hasn't been trying to make negotiations happen to release her
Yep.
as well as one of the other U.S. prisoners, and it's
Yes.
not working. So they're gonna. Then you're telling me they're watching a video? That's like brainwashing, the propaganda. So now you're gonna
Propaganda.
brainwash them in 16 hours of labor.
And there was one incident. So just, I think it was, let me see, I had a note written down here about it. There was, I don't know, basically, it's just, you thought it was bad now, wait till she's forced to move, which could take up to like 3 or 4 months, they said. So it's not happening right this second, but that's what's leading up to it. The only slight sliver of a bright spot here was that, according to the Russian law, every 1 day pretrial is equal to 1.5 days prison time served. So now, after her time served, she has about 8 years left on the sentence, which again isn't anything, but geez, it's
No, that's crazy. It's
it's
traumatic too.
ridiculous. And and she's going to be a pawn there as well in these barracks. I mean, could I just?
She
Oh,
already is a pawn. What do you mean? She
it
is a pawn. Like, it's not
infuriates
even gonna.
me.
It's not
Oh yeah,
gonna. It's
no,
not gonna change. I mean, that's what it is. She's
it's
literally a
a
POW. She's literally a POW. She's going into an extensive labor camp. They're trying to disguise it under the guise of laws. And then that's basically what it is. And she's POW. Say that.
yeah, very much so, and it's really sad.
Sad.
So
It's just
our
traumatic. Like, this is
prayers,
crazy.
I can't even, yeah. And I feel bad for her family, for her wife, friends, family members, teammates. It's just, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Kente, Brittany definitely needs to be freed. I told everyone it's going to be tougher than we thought. Russia prisons are brutal. Listen,
We
first
already
of all,
knew.
none of you guys out there can work 16-hour days at a job, at a desk, let alone
Physical
manual
jobs.
labor,
They get at least four
forced,
tens.
and bet you don't get your snack. Like I couldn't have snacks. There's think of the food shortage, the weather in Russia in the wintertime. This is about to be wintertime, folks. It's a lot.
I can't. So
It's
many
it's
layers to this. It's just unreal that I can't even get into because it's just too much. It really is. It's a really deep
it,
situation.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Unfortunately, yeah, it's
So we need to free BG. We just need to keep
definitely.
not what we should not do, what we cannot do is forget her. Please do not forget about her.
Do
Please
not
keep her
post
in
about it,
prayers.
talk about it.
Yeah, don't forget
Um,
about her. That's the thing. That's the worst thing.
yeah.
Don't ever forget about her.
Now I had seen, so we had a guest a few weeks ago talking about the Qatar World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that was a great time with our guest there, who is going to be working for Telemundo. I mean, there's so much happening. The World Games in Qatar is going to be crazy. All those stadiums, everything was magnificent. Well, this thing came out today where this UK minister, James Cleverly, he got criticized and faced some backlash because he mentioned that gay football fans heading to the World Cup should show some compromise and be respectful of the host nation and their cultural, laws and regulations and stuff like that. Well, what I
Yeah, that's a
wasn't
BS.
aware of homosexuality is illegal in Qatar. Qatar laws have prison sentences from 1 to 3 years for adults that are convicted of consensual gay or lesbian sex. There was even a slight note that there was a death sentence for those, but I think no one has actually died from this or has been executed because of it.
But in Qatar, aren't they also saying they're welcoming? They're trying to do a new initiative where they're
Yeah,
welcoming
they're
people
trying to
that are
say,
LGBTQ
hey,
plus. They're
right, they're
welcomed, and
trying,
this should be a safe space for them
and it
with no
should
type
be
of
a
repercussion.
safe space,
But
but
it's
that's what
not. Doesn't
officials are
sound like
saying.
it. Doesn't
Who's
sound
going to
like it.
say what police or what
Right.
the locals are doing?
Right.
They're saying that, yeah, you should be able to hold hands with your significant other as long as you are still keeping within certain cultural boundaries they have there. But they're talking about like the European Federal Football Federation announced that they would be wearing these like captains armbands that were rainbow hearts in support of anti-discrimination campaigns during the international matches. But here's what's scary.
The thing of it is that they can't even do that and allow spectators to come in there and feel like they're going to be comfortable with that.
There's articles all over about huge fans of soccer and football. All these sports fans that are wanting to come, but they're scared because of what is going on.
That's a coin toss. Like you can't tell me that, oh, you're all welcomed and then get locked up, punished, killed, fined, whatever the case may be when you attend.
It's why
did they choose there?
Well, I think it was like a bid, and I don't think all those things were thought about until the aftermath and the afterthoughts.
Did not know that going forward in?
I mean, well, and I think they're trying. So part of the pro speech of going is because, hey, you'll come there, you'll be fine, you'll be safe, and this will be a way to show that Qatar and the rest of these nations.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Well, that's what the pros for.
I'm just saying, you're not.
But here's what was really disturbing is that the Human Rights Watch reported that in Qatar, officers had detained, beaten, and harassed at least 6 LGBTQ plus people since 2019, as recent as last month.
Wow.
Last month.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is coming up. How is that going to change that fast? I don't think so.
I don't know. So my whole thing was that people, this guy, James Cleverly, was under criticism for telling them, kind of understand what the cultural issues are. But, and I kind of get his point. Like he's trying to say, listen, if you are going to go, just be careful because there's some stuff still going on that's not safe. And unfortunately, it's not. And it should be. But because it isn't, you got to kind of like watch your back. And a lot of these fans were saying like, yeah, I just don't want to feel like I'm always being watched.
Right.
Someone's always.
But he was getting criticism for even saying that. Like, why do we even have to?
Which is understood
that?
too. I mean,
I understand
get both
that too.
sides. Yeah. But having us celebrated Pride Month this month here in Las Vegas and the Pride Parade, it just seemed like something that I wanted to touch upon because I just feel like I hadn't understood. I wasn't aware.
I wasn't aware of that either.
Severe.
So you sent it to me. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You are. We love our LGBTQ people and we support them. And if you are thinking of going to Qatar, please just take extra precaution and be aware of your surroundings. I'm sure even though officials and maybe around the stadiums, it might be encouraged to be.
They're doing that for the optics of it all, but the realization of it is it's not really approved. It's governmentally by Qatar
legally, and so
legally it's not even
there's a lot of old heads everywhere that aren't going to be okay with anything that's different and any change.
I would say protect yourself, honey. Don't even go.
All right, listen, I get it.
Sadly, don't even go.
Sadly, for sure. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure we discussed that. We didn't have much on the Jugadores Locos.
We did.
Well, we do. You brought it to my attention. This was
I don't know how real this is. I brought it and I thought it was fake, so I don't know. But you could talk about it.
It's interesting. I mean, we all know that AB has been gung-hoing after Tom Brady since, Tom Brady's been tanking and him and the Giselle split. And now supposedly the picture of him and Giselle, he's now making into a t-shirt where proceeds are going to fatherless children. I don't know. You can't make this kind of stuff up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know how real that is, but I don't know if that was really a joke. I don't know. I just said it because I was like, it's a possibility it could be out. I don't know.
I don't know. What were some? Did you have some Jugadores you thought of that you were thinking?
Klay Thompson, for the first time in his NBA career, got ejected out of the game last night.
I had that later on, but I didn't really feel like that was like.
It's not really a Jugadores Locus. I mean, it's a crazy situation, but it's crazy that he's never been ejected out of a game until now.
Never in his career.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's so funny because I kind of had the game on the background. I wasn't watching though, and someone had hit me up and was like, "Yo, why is Klay so crazy?" And I was like, huh? Like
Klay was crazy mad before the game.
He's like, yeah, Clay's gone mad. And I'm like, Klay Thompson? What are you talking about? Because apparently the whole game and before the game, he was on.
Yeah, he was on something. So something triggered him. He was upset mentally, couldn't get out of his mental, so taking it out on the court and got ejected. Steve Nash got ejected tonight too. It's a whole bunch of ejections.
Steve Nash was going off today.
Yeah, but he got ejected too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that Hugo Doris logos either, but I just was like, what's crazy
it
about it is
it
the
made
fact that he
sense.
never.
It was just kind of like, are you serious?
He
Like, this is
never.
crazy.
He never.
I never. You don't think of Clay Thompson in that aspect.
Yeah, he's very mild mannered. A
Yeah.
very low temperament. Like you just don't see him as a bulldog, but
not at all.
He wasn't having a good day. They had to go to work. Sometimes we have personal stuff
it happens.
that comes into our job, and sometimes
Listen,
we lash out on the wrong
days.
ones.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that.
And Devin Booker had something nice to say. It wasn't like he was.
Yeah, I mean, it was competitive. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like 80s basketball, late 80s basketball. Like you had like the Jordan and the Isaiah Thomas. I mean, you had teams and players that were going at each other hardcore,
right?
Talking smack, going back, but there was never technicals or getting kicked out the game.
Well, you get ejected if you throw a punch. That was what it took, but
where did he throw a punch at, though?
He didn't. I said back then what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, but now you're getting ejected just from speaking.
Now it's just verbal sparring, and you're still getting ejected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's too much. So
yeah, so
that was interesting for sure.
Right.
Bringing it back to some Vegas Golden Knight and some Las Vegas news, we definitely have to shout out this guy, of course, the new Iron Man of the NHL, Phil Kessel, who weeks had hit me too in regards to what was happening, and
that's why we winning over here.
Yeah. So not only did he hit 990 consecutive games played on Tuesday, they won last night in San Jose versus the Sharks 4-2, but he also scored his 400th career goal in a game. 400 goals, 990 consecutive games. His record goes back to 2009.
Insane. And we got
2009. Some of y'all can't even work 3 days in a row. And I could be one of them.
And that's why the Golden
NBA, you've got load management, you've got all these injuries. This man had 900 for over what is that, 13 years? For 13 years,
2009,
no injuries, played every game, showed up to work, whether he was playing the whole time. I mean, always showed up. And
that just tells you right there that he loves the game.
And you know what's crazy? I don't have the picture on me, but they showed a picture of him, like just without all the, the hockey gear on. He's not necessarily in the best shape. I think he's 36 or 37. And apparently he only drinks Cokes. He doesn't even drink water. He hates water. He wants to drink Coke. And there was Weeks had sent me this Spittin' Chicks video. Apparently, I can't remember what team it was, he was going to go play for this team, but apparently coach wouldn't allow Coke in the locker room, and he was really going to stop playing hockey. He was like, I can't. Like, I need Coke. I'm not drinking water.
Right.
I'm not drinking. I need to be in the locker room with my drink. It's. But shout out to him. I'm really excited. That was dope. He's also He's also the 12th American-born player to reach this number of 400 goals. So that's impressive as well, because a lot of hockey players are also Canadian or foreign. But
my Knight fans we're winners right now. We are winning right now. We have a really good record.
I know that. I know that's your squad right now. I know that's your squad. Yes,
supporting all the winners.
Gotta support the winners.
You have to. So much.
I heard that. The Rebels, I hadn't realized, but they went to Notre Dame. They lost, but I mean, they didn't get. I mean, they lost by like 20 points. They didn't get blown out. But to get out there, to go to Indiana, to be on that kind of setting, I think that's pretty dope to see. They have I guess it's like their bye this weekend. They come back and play away again next weekend versus San Diego State on the 5th. So
that is so weird,
huh?
No, I say that because Raiders have 2 away games in a row, and you're telling me UNLV is not going to be there. So who's taking over Allegiant then?
They're not here this weekend. Maybe there's concerts this weekend. I don't know.
Wow.
So they're not here this weekend. Next weekend they're in San Diego, and then they come back. So I guess Allegiant's empty.
Nah,
they're gonna save on the power bill.
I just don't know. I thought maybe UNLV was taking over. That's why we had 2 away games in a row. Now that you say that, it's like, well, who's gonna be there?
Yeah, right. That does seem a little odd.
It is.
Yeah, but And then, of course, we got basketball coming soon. The Running Rebels and the Lady Rebels, they have started open practices.
Yep.
Hey, I don't know if you knew this. Maybe I'm sure you already did. But the
There, I
Running
got
Rebels,
HBCU. I think my Southern
yeah,
Southern
they're
Jazz are
playing
coming
Southern on the
November
very first
7th.
preseason game.
I already got a
So,
ticket. So yeah, I'm there.
hey, all right.
Jags
Shout out to
Nation, stand up.
Danetta and Miss Bollandy because she had posted a couple of videos and interviews with some of the guys from the G League Ignite, our team out here in Las Vegas. Well, I guess Henderson, because they play out in Dollar Loan Center. So I guess their season starts next week on the 4th.
Okay.
So if you're yearning for live basketball and live sports again, besides hockey and football, get out to Dollar Loan Center, get some tickets for the G League Ignite team because that team's pretty explosive too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And what hit my emails today is the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Yeah, I got
tickets
a text
are
message
going
of
on
that this
sale.
morning. Yeah.
So the general public gets admission for tickets on November 5th. The priority ones that might have paid that money, I guess, they should get the priority list interest November 3rd. Tickets are only 3-day passes. There's no single ticket. So you have to buy a 3-day pass, but it does have all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lick.
I mean, that's kind of nice, but I heard the tickets are like maybe like 500 or something. I think I saw someone post, which isn't terrible for 3 days.
I mean,
that's
the same price
like
as
a festival. Right.
I'm paying festival money, so I figured it was going to be that, especially if it's all inclusive food and non-alcoholic drinks at 3 days. That's about right.
Sounds about right to me.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, I got a text on that this morning that I didn't click on it to see, and I missed my opportunity to pay that. I think it was just $10 for the priority thing.
I never paid it, but I think it was. Yeah,
either.
all I know is that it's November 5th if I want to get in there. And maybe just, I don't know if it's possible. Maybe you can like share a pass with friends. You know, everybody goes one day. I don't know how many days you would be there. I don't know if I could actually
8-person limit.
3
My thing
days.
is, if I don't have a hotel room overlooking how that thing is going to roll, it's no point. I don't think I want to be at ground zero with it. I'd rather be up in a hotel room having a party.
Like one of those corner suites at the Cosmo balcony style.
Right. Be at a Cosmo, be at a, wherever.
Where's the hookup at? Come on, guys. Let's figure that one out.
Yeah, my Cosmo peeps, my Aria peeps. I need all y'all. All hands on deck. Where are we at?
All hands on deck. Let's get on get one room and everybody just.
I mean, listen. If everybody pitches in on a room, we throw a party in the room. It's perfect. It's just a viewing party. 3 days. Everybody take a turn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to get into some football. We didn't have one last week, but between injuries, the continued struggles of some of your fantasy football players, I wanted to show a little bit the latest.
I won all 3 of my fantasy leagues this week.
You did?
For the first time.
I lost both of mine for the first time. Listen, the girls' league, I've already put as not happening, but my guys' league, I was second, and I lost that one too. And literally, it's just so.
Yeah, I cleared all 3 this week.
Of Benchmore Ben, here is some of the bus and the fantasy anonymous group.
All right, guys, I know Halloween's coming, but that doesn't mean you all had to turn into ghosts. I gotta say, though, Najee, you're the trendsetter. You've been a ghost to your former self all season. Yeah, everyone else, you gotta pick different costumes. I'm the real ghost. That is not something to be proud of. But yeah, he's right. We need to get new costumes for everybody. Well, what are we supposed to be? Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something. Oh, for example, you could be reverse Michael Myers. Reverse Michael Myers? Well, you know how Michael Myers always moves really slow, but somehow he's always right behind you? You move really fast, but you haven't made any progress in weeks. Tom and Lenny, you guys could be Jack and Rose from Titanic because you're both part of the sinking ship known as the 2022 Buccaneers. You want me and Lenny to do a couple's costume? Well, yeah, we both know you don't have anyone else to do that with this year. Zach Ertz, you could dress up like the Broncos-Colts game from a few weeks ago because you were a Thursday night disappointment. Debo, you can go as Woody from Toy Story because now that the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey, they don't want to play with you anymore. Cortland Sutton, you could dress up like a piece of candy corn because even though you look orange and inviting, you provide nothing but a sense of false hope and sadness. Listen, it's not my fault my quarterback's a complete embarrassment, all right? The only time he should be on the field is if a pile of leaves spawns at the 50-yard line because this dude blows. Hold on, are you talking about Brett Rippon or Russ? Is there a difference? Not really. Brandon Cooks, I say you go as a baseball card because you're constantly being traded and it's probably going to happen again. Kyle Pitts, you can go as the Queen of England because you're dead to me. And Mark Andrews, I know I already yelled at Ertz and Pitts, but how are you going to bust on National Tight Ends Day? You did this last year too. Well, I tend to get pretty hammered on National Tight Ends Day. I was seeing like 3 Saquons out there on defense. Saquon doesn't play defense. And you didn't even play the Giants this week. Oh shit. Anyway, your costume should be Grimace from the old McDonald's commercials because as of late, you're a big purple waste of space.
Wow.
So yeah, National Tight Ends Day, and I think only Kittles and of
For
course
once. For
yeah,
once
Kittles
showed up.
for once,
For
yes.
once.
And
He
Travis
actually
Kelce are like
showed
the
up.
only two that could actually do anything on
And I have
National
George
Tight
Kittle,
Ends
and I
Day.
was so shocked at the points. And I'm like, happy National Tight Ends Day. You know, I had to bench my one because he was not playing. I
You had to
have
make
Darren
it
Waller on my other
happen. You had to
league.
make
He
it
wasn't playing.
happen.
But
Oh my
George
goodness.
Kittle made up for it, you know? Jeez.
Yeah, because my tight ends have been toast. I mean, barely. I mean, it was just bad all around. Bad.
My thing is, that's the day y'all supposed to ball out. Lamar Jackson with 13 points. What is going on?
There's something in the
Who has
water.
him?
There's
I
I
don't even
don't
know anybody that has
listen.
him. I need people to
Well,
talk to me about
I
that.
just gotta start with this. First of all, we're in after week 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's only 2 teams that have won 6 games.
Yep.
This is like the rarest of rare things. I mean, usually by this time, there's like 4 teams undefeated. Like, 5 have like a winning record. I mean, look at these
To see the
records.
Jets underneath the Bills with 5-2 is just astounding to me.
To see the average of being like 4-3 or 3-4 throughout the entire
Here's the other
majority
astounding thing:
is just
the NFC East, which is usually the worst
trash
division,
division,
to
right?
be on top.
Or
As
that the
winningest
Commanders
division
are 3-4 and they're the
Jeez.
worst in the
for
division.
NFC. That's crazy.
The
But I like
Saints
how
are
your
2 and
Seahawks are sitting on top.
5.
I know you didn't see that coming.
Listen, I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. Seattle didn't see that coming. I don't think even maybe Pete Carroll knew and he didn't tell nobody, but I wanted to also play a video. It's a little long, but it's pretty. So back home in Seattle, King 5 is the NBC network, and the sports anchor who's been there forever, Paul Sylvie. He's an awesome guy. But he had this post earlier today, and I have to share it because I think all of us are still trying to pick our jaws up off the floor as to how our team's been doing.
The Seahawks entered this week on top of the NFC West, all alone in first place. Head coach Pete Carroll allowed himself to revel in it after Sunday's win, if only for a split second, saying, "Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk 32-year-old Geno Smith would be the key to one of the highest scoring offenses in the league? Who'da thunk the oldest guy on the team, 35-year-old Al Woods, would anchor a defense that has flipped the script the last 2 weeks? A script that once read like a Halloween slasher movie, complete with defensive bodies strewn about in multiple states, is now starting to read like a holiday classic. The Seahawks' 2 oldest starters are leading by example with their work ethic and character. Pete Carroll said this about Geno following Sunday's win over the Chargers: "He's different than he was." Pete went on to describe Geno as a man living in an elevation of poise, much like this Seahawks team, much like their head coach. Through the first 5 games this season, Pete got bombarded with questions that almost always started with the words, "What's wrong with?" Now it's more about what's right and what's left, as in 10 games on the schedule. To a man, each player said, "Pump the brakes. We played 7 games." That didn't stop the NFL from releasing a playoff bracket this week that lists the Seahawks as the 3rd seed in the NFC. While it is somewhat laughable, you can't blame Pete if somewhere privately he's cracking the slightest of smiles.
He's got to be. You can't count the old ones out if they feel inspired. I mean, change is good.
Absolutely
change is good
not.
for Geno Smith. Maybe
Hey,
Pacific
listen,
Northwest is good for
made
him.
it happen. I mean, he's been there. He's known the offense and working the offense. He just hasn't started. And then you got this guy right here, Kenneth Walker the third. This guy had I think it's a 76-yard run. They clocked him at 22 miles per hour. He is the fastest runner so far, ball carrier this season to reach that 22 miles an hour. Ridiculous. He ran for 168 yards. There's a lot of running backs had great games, of course. Your Josh Jacobs had a great
Josh Jacobs
game.
3 consecutive.
Yes. 3 TDs versus the Texans.
But even just his run pass is just ridiculous. Like, I mean, the yards he rushed, it's crazy.
Listen, the NFL has been wild.
It really has.
Trade deadline is November 1st. I think the news broke out last week on like Thursday. Christian McCaffrey going to the Niners. Of course, he didn't seem to he had a few good plays this past Sunday, but he didn't necessarily make a difference. The Niners still lost to the Chiefs, which was still a tough game for them.
Yeah.
The Cowboys acquired
that game if they had him or not.
Right. Cowboys got your guy from the Raiders, Jonathan Hatkins.
Right.
Eagles just got Robert Quinn from the Bears. So there's some things happening. They're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in this next few days because November 1st is Tuesday.
Yeah.
And this is the deadline. So we'll see what other moves are to be made and see
Yeah,
how
we got
that
quite
goes.
a few players still. Jonathan Abram is questionable if
Yeah.
he's going to stay with us or go. A few other
Mhm.
people. So, yeah.
I know the Packers are looking for wide receivers.
Well, I guess so.
They need
I
to.
guess so. Really? You think, huh?
And the Broncos are just looking for anything at this point.
Yeah.
So it's been questioned that their head coach Hackett, his job may be on the line if they
Yeah, they
can't.
were. They were talking about that.
If they can't beat the Jags in London.
I
So
mean,
they're
they've been
going to
eyeing
London.
Sean Payton. So if Sean
Right.
Payton can come back and be the Sean Payton that New Orleans is familiar with, where he can take players and mold them into greatness, it's probably what they need to do if he wants to come back. I mean, it sounds
Right.
like retirement living is really good to him right now.
He ain't worried about it.
He's not.
So yesterday was Sierra's birthday.
Right.
And so Russell had a beautiful post for his wife. And,
Okay.
was very sweet and generous. And apparently today or late last night or early this morning, the team left for London because they play the Jaguars in London this coming Sunday. One of the Denver Broncos media or beat writers put up a tweet earlier that went viral. Russell Wilson worked out and stretched for 4 of the 8 hours on the flight from Denver to London. Said he was doing high knees in the aisle while the rest of the guys were asleep.
For 4 hours on a plane.
4 hours. So this guy puts in here, since when is the flight, the Denver to London flight, only 8 hours? Just throwing a flag on this play as we speak, because apparently the flight is about 9 hours. And this other guy wrote, Russ's high knees got the plane there faster.
Yeah, like how did that even happen? Come on. First of all, I don't even think he did 4 hours worth of strengthening and stretching.
But that's what Russell said.
Well, I don't believe it.
My theory was that after a birthday celebration with Sierra, he needed to stretch out after.
I don't believe 4 hours worth, though. He stretched, but I don't think 4 hours.
Listen,
4 hours. 4 hours, and you didn't wake up.
So when I woke up, that tweet had already been retweeted probably like 3,000 times. I mean, it was like the most hilarious
4 hours
thing.
when no one on the plane, and everybody's still sleeping.
So basically, what you're saying, Russell, is you're ready to play. That's what you're saying. Like you're going in, you're ready to start this one. At this point,
listen, he doesn't have any weapons. I mean, this has been proven. You put a sub in, it's still disaster for them. So it's not gonna make it any different.
Even after Melvin Gordon complaining all 2 weeks ago and then playing,
and he need not complain because you were dropping easy passes, sir. You were dropping the ball too. So I don't even want to hear your mouth. But the thing of it is that I'm fine with it because this is kind of what I predicted anyway of the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't predicting them to be anything but at the back end of this whole thing because of the trade. To everything that they lost, to everything they're not going to get, to Jerry Jeudy, to Melvin, they have no offensive weapons. Their defense is their best saving grace.
They've traded picks, like all their picks.
They've traded everybody. This is a depleted team with a face of a man of $250 million, which I can't be mad that he took because you guys are still talking about him. He's still making news and media, so he's getting his money worth.
I mean, it's like the gift that keeps on giving for me, at least, because it gives me more and more content. It gives me a good chuckle every day.
Getting his money's worth because the talk is still there. Everybody is obsessively still all Russell's.
Well, they expected more from him. Let's be honest.
I mean, what can you expect when you don't have any weapons?
A 500 record or something.
I don't think that was going to be the case.
But they expected to get Russell Wilson straight out of the Super Bowl. They didn't realize they were getting Russell Wilson that we've had for the last 2 years, who hasn't been doing much. I
think, do people just look at football, or are they not watching football? Because that's what I'm just very curious about.
Maybe are you
just looking at the TV, or are you actually watching football?
What was John Elway doing? John Elway should have been able to critique this one from the get, but clearly
because they're still off of the Peyton Manning high, and they feel like this name. It's all about the names. It's like, oh, it's a big name. We need this player. It's not about the playing. It's just a big name. It's who's going to fill the seats, who's going to be the face. Clearly, I'm watching this Lakers and Denver Nuggets game, and we're seeing what that brings you. So it's not anymore about the play, and that's why I said, are they even watching games, or are they just going off of famous names? Because we're reckoning with that right now too.
Yeah,
with the coach that we have. because it's a
Right?
name. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And look at
And
what
where
we
he
got
came
going on.
from, and then the tree that
Yeah,
he's
all of that,
been
all of
fallen
that.
from. Yes.
Yeah.
But hey, you
Doesn't
guys
matter
got the
the
win. You guys got the
applicability.
win versus Texas.
Yeah,
With
we needed
Halloween
that win.
coming up, we did want to share with you a few costume ideas
Yeah.
because Raiders fan comes with false hope, severe depression, ruined Sundays. We'll get them next season, and unparalleled loyalty, which I think you
Yeah.
are shaking with a little bit at this time.
No,
Then you've
I'm
got
loyal to him. It ain't
yeah.
unparalleled. I'm
Then you've
there.
got the fraud picture of Russell Wilson and his Denver Broncos. It includes 2 wins, 4 losses, creepy Subway ads, Wolverine blood. Don't forget that part. And it requires $245 million. The Wolverine blood part was hilarious. So apparently he had been asked, like, well, how are you, because he was talking about,
Yeah.
taking the game off and he had to, get better, but he's got Wolverine blood. That's why he can get back so fast and how he can recover.
You know what? He's like Chuck Norris. He can't do anything wrong. And I'm here for it. Say more. Say less, whatever.
Please keep it
going.
coming, because
going.
it brings my day happiness to
Right.
get these texts.
And I don't know why
tweets from
everybody was
family and
hyped about the
friends
fraud. I mean, I don't feel like he frauded anybody. It was Russell Wilson. It was a name. People got all hyped, and I'm like, have you seen the last 2 seasons
Well, I
of
think,
Seahawks?
like I mentioned, they
Yeah.
weren't watching the last 2 seasons. They
They
thought
were
it
looking
was
at the
Pete.
game.
They thought it was Pete. They thought it was lack of defense. They thought
And
it
I
was
thought
no
it was Pete
offensive
too as a
line.
part of it. But I thought solely it was him too. I mean,
Well,
look at him.
Pete's, Pete and the
He's
players
on the other
kind of
side.
changed
But
it
Pete is
around
doing
now.
this thing. Pete is being
Yeah.
a coach.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Especially in fantasy. I know for those that had Bryce Hall, it seemed like it was terrible for him. He had an outstanding rookie season thus far. He has suffered a torn ACL. He's out for the Jets. The Chargers had 2 injuries just from our game. Their cornerback, JC Jackson, he's
Oh yeah,
gonna
they're
miss the
really
rest of the
suffering over
season.
that.
Chargers Mike Williams, who I have on my fantasy
Yeah.
too, who played like doo-doo anyway on Sunday, but
Yeah,
then got
he's
an
out.
ankle injury. He's
Yeah.
out. David
Yeah.
Njoku, one of my favorite tight ends.
Njoku's terrible. Njoku's been terrible before he was even injured, and I have him on my fantasy league, so I don't even
He's
know why I
out
picked
2
up
to
this guy.
5. Listen, Matt Ryan gets benched, not even just because of his injury, because he completely sucks. The
he's just
Colts really.
terrible.
Now the Colts, those are one of this team you really wonder, because they thought they were upgrading from Carson Wentz by getting Matt Ryan,
Boy,
giving
were they wrong.
giving a low draft pick and being able to have him start for them. Matt Ryan has done nothing.
Did they not look at Atlanta? That's what I'm saying. They're
Again,
not watching games.
not watching.
They're not watching.
Games.
They're looking at a TV
They
screen
think their
and seeing
offense is going to
football
change
players on the
things.
field, and they see names and they're thinking this is going to be gold.
And it's not.
Cut it out.
So Matt Ryan gets benched for Sam Ehlinger, who
is
I
that?
actually, thank you, I had to look up. Sam Ehlinger is in his 2nd season. He played for Texas. I think they won a championship at some point. This is his 2nd season. Get this. Sam's never he's never attempted to throw a pass in an NFL game. Never. But
why do they have him?
Coach Frank, he said, hey, we're going to go with Sam, even though they still have Nick Foles, mind you, a championship quarterback who won for Philadelphia. They have Nick Foles there.
And they passed on Nick Foles for this guy?
Who is now going to be number 2 to Sam until Matt gets better. Matt's going to be out for maybe a week or a couple weeks. Who knows? Maybe forever. But he's not going to start for the rest of the season. From what Coach says Sam is starting for the rest of the season. And he hasn't thrown.
You know what? I can't. Why are we even talking about this? They deserve to lose every game.
It's just so ridiculous. Like, this is how we're in a warped world of football this season. You can't even put it into words. It's just things are happening left and right, and you're just like, what? Nick Foles is on your team, and he's number 2. What's happening?
They must not like him.
He must have pissed somebody off. Somebody off real bad.
He's not even a number 2. He's a number 3. Maybe Sam got dirt on the organization or something. I don't get it. Maybe he's I don't know. This sounds like nepotism. Sounds like some blackmail or bribery or some trickery. We may have to dig into this a little bit more. Now I'm curious.
Like, whose wife did he? I don't know. It's just so much. It's just
now I'm curious. Now I want to know if some other stuff going on.
What got you blacklisted? What got you blacklisted, Nick? We want to know.
No lie.
Yeah. So not to, so the World Series is coming up. I'm sure none of us really care at this point. The Astros swept the Yankees in 4 games. Yankees got booed at Yankee Stadium at home. That's how bad it was going.
I mean, I hate these Astros, but I have to give Dusty Baker his flowers.
Man, and that
He's probably the
Bergman,
best
that guy
coach
is
I've ever
saving
seen.
them game by game in some
He's
places.
probably the best manager I've ever seen in baseball in recent times. I mean, he has figured
Unbelievable.
out a way.
He's got the magic secret
to just defeat all these teams coming up. Yankees, I wasn't expecting them to beat them either. They had one job,
but
to
win a game,
I knew
Yankees,
that wasn't gonna happen. I knew that wasn't gonna happen. They were lucky to even be there, to be quite honest with you. They had a terrible slump in the early part of the season. They got warm when Aaron Judge was on his derby. So yeah, I wasn't expecting much of that. So that didn't surprise me.
It's crazy. So yeah, the World Series starts on Friday in Houston. Houston, of course, is favored right now.
Of course. Mattress Mac just put his money down. They just showed a video of him putting all his coins in. He's ready.
I bet he's ready. He's bringing all the nuns.
He knows something I don't know with Dusty Baker.
To the game.
Yeah.
They got something going on.
Yeah.
But we're moving into some some NBA action. Your Lakers, I know, are playing right now.
Right.
How are we looking? Will they get the win? No,
it's not looking good. They're playing Joker and company in Denver.
Ouch.
They are in the Mile High City doing what they do, lose. Shout out to Quan.
Okay.
Because I know he was very frustrated with this opening season. He's kind of wanting to.
I thought he was not watching sports, and the next
he don't
day
want to watch any sports anymore.
He made a sports post, and I was like, "Hang on."
He didn't want to. He didn't. He was one of those that was still in the delusion of the Lakers having a solid season. We are talking about trades now. We're talking about getting some players that we may necessarily need because LeBron has finally admitted that we have no shooting game.
Hello.
You think
we didn't have one last terrible
season? We didn't have one last season.
So when Russell Westbrook isn't playing today because he's supposedly injured, has a hamstring injury, I wouldn't be doubtful if LeBron hit him in the thigh just to keep him out from playing, but that's irrelevant. So he's not playing.
Well, he pulls a hammy and says he can't play. That may not be even the thing.
So the question is, how long before Russ is gone and there's a trade to help the Lakers?
I don't know.
Because how long will they take the losses before they?
So they're talking about trading Russell Wilson to Charlotte.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. Sorry. RWs.
Money.
Two RWs. Two Russells, both failing.
Failing in life, yeah.
Both failing. One just paid more to fail. The other one is just failing. But they're talking about a 2027 draft pick, a 2029 first round draft pick for Russell Westbrook in exchange for what's our young Tito that they are trying to get? 2 big names actually.
Okay.
Gordon Hayward's one of them I would take. And then the other one is a master shooter. And I'm trying to think because I just at a loss right now.
Update. I just didn't get the name.
No, I can look it up real quick. But anybody that can join the chat knows they could tell.
Well, and while you're looking, this I guess is Mo.
Pretty much.
Chilling outside of Popeyes, trying to take her work break.
And Popeyes is my favorite.
Yeah,
Popeyes is my favorite.
So the picture is the Dodgers, Raiders, Lakers fans right now because apparently, at least you guys got the win on on
this
Sunday.
Was taken before we had our win. This is exactly. They're talking about
the trifecta.
Terry Rozier.
Ah, okay.
And we would love to get Terry Rozier because Terry Rozier right now is out though. He's out on injury, so he's not playing right now. But if we were able to trade Russell Westbrook with 2 first round draft picks for 2027 and 2029 to get Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward, I would take it.
I feel like y'all would be willing to take
Charlotte
ain't
going to take it. Why would they take that? That's stupid of them to take it. When you got LaMelo over there too, waiting in the wings in a couple weeks to get healthy and come back. Why would they even accept a trade like that? For what? You're talking about draft picks within 5 years from now to start on a first rounder? Come on. That's terrible.
So,
I wouldn't take that.
We are officially 2 weeks into the NBA season. Like you mentioned, LaMelo was already out. Zach LaVine had already been taking load management days. I don't even know if he played today or not, but the Bulls did win. And then you had this happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised by that.
I mean, Zion down.
It's the shoes. It's the shoes. It's the,
If
you know,
Nike
he makes
don't
me
pick him
nervous every
up or
time he
something,
goes
I
up.
don't know. So he has a hip contusion.
Oh yeah.
There is no update as to his timeline to return. Of course, they're going to be precautious because of his history with injuries and not returning too soon. But they said that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. He had a
It could have
really
been a lot
bad
worse.
fall.
And I
That
think it was a
fall looked
collision with another
hard.
player, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
well, I
know?
think he went up. Yeah, and it was on Sunday
Yeah.
when they played the Jazz and lost. But
Right.
I just
Down
that's
goes Frazier
what's
again.
crazy though is that the Pelicans beat the Mavs last night, and they were down Ingram, down Zion, and
Yeah.
one other player, I forgot his name, and they still won.
They got a
Pelicans,
squad. They said that CJ McCollum
yeah,
out there. Don't forget about
yeah.
him. They got a
I wouldn't
squad.
say
It's just the
CJ
problem is,
McCollum carries a team, but
no, he doesn't, but he's a great active shooter. But at the end of the
yeah,
day, you've got this Zion situation. And that's why in my fantasy league, I did not take Zion. Yes, he puts up great points.
smart
Yes, he'll
one.
put up
Okay.
boards for you. Yes, he'll probably get you in the fantasy of 50. But when he goes down, who do you have to sub for him?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I don't take those risks. I saw the shoes that he designed that he's playing in. I said, oh, he's going to get hurt. Just looking at the shoes, you could tell.
I'm gonna
And I
have to
don't want to
Google
wish
the
that on this
shoes. I've
guy. But the
never really
shoes,
noticed
just
them.
the shoes, no. His little sneaker concept he's got. I looked at those shoes. I said it's bound to just be injury. Those shoes are whack.
He's probably better off in the Zion Nike Dunks he's got coming out in a couple weeks.
I
He
don't
could just
know,
play
but
in
those shoes were very low vibrations, as the kids say. They were not tracking
Low
whatsoever,
vibration.
and of
Ouch.
course he gets hurt. And he always makes me
Ouch.
nervous when he jumps up. Anytime he does a dunk, it's like, ooh, don't fall.
And he's been dominant. I mean, he's been very well in these first few games. He was
Decent.
averaging
Lost
like 25
weight.
points, lost
Looking
weight,
good.
was active. But
Yeah.
if you can't stay healthy, it's not going to be good.
It all started from that summer league, and it just never ever tracked. And it's unfortunate, but I'm glad it wasn't as serious. We'll see. We'll keep, I keep an eye on him, but I like Zion. I just don't want to have that kind of liability on my fantasy league right now. And it's early. It's the second week, and you already got this man out.
Shout out to Eric. He said Zion seems to have more athleticism than his body can handle.
Something. I feel like almost low-key Eric, too, that he might need to be on the gridiron if he could handle the gridiron. Like, he should have been a gridiron player. I don't understand when these big guys, other than somebody like Shaq, who should have been on the gridiron, but Shaq didn't get us hurt as badly because he got hurt as he got older. But this is a young kid getting hurt. Like, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. We're in the second week of NBA and players are already out.
They're dropping like flies.
They're dropping like flies. I don't know what's going on. And they play in preseason. It's not like the NFL where the stars are not playing and all the other people are playing, and so they're injury prone. The stars are even playing in preseason. Like, I don't get it. So I don't know. Something's up.
Many questions.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, CP3, joined Stockton and Kidd as the only players in NBA history to reach 11,000 career assists.
I guess so. Look how
big milestone. So
he's gonna be that guy. He's the assist king this season. He's on the other side too. He's not the same. I've been seeing him on the assists. He's a good pickup for fantasy to do that.
Other crazy stats so far in week 2. Portland is leading everybody in the West, 4-0. Didn't see that.
And it's crazy because who do they have over there besides Dame Dollar?
Guys that I don't even know their names.
Exactly. Who are these people?
I actually wrote them down because I didn't know them. So Anthony Simmons, who had like 7 threes one night.
Okay.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah, that's a player. Yeah,
and
I didn't know he was on there.
Jeremy Grant.
Oh, Jeremy Grant, come on. I have him too. And he did not give me any points in fantasy league, so he ain't a contributor to it.
Well,
who else is over there balling that's making them win?
I don't know. It's crazy. But
he gave me 12 points tonight, and I'm very tight about that. And that's total. So that's points
that was
scored,
tonight. This was
rebound.
before tonight, so I don't know. But apparently those 3 have added to the help that Dame's, but Dame's still scoring like what, 30, 40
I like
points
Jeremy
a game,
Grant too
so.
because he's related to Horace Grant and all of them. He's
Oh,
like the nephew. He's the nephew.
The nephew? Oh,
yeah. But still, I need you to put up more points, sir. I didn't draft you for nothing.
Okay. Donovan Mitchell has definitely made an impact in Cleveland. They said he scored 30 points in the last 3 games.
Spider's
First
good.
3 games, yeah.
I like Spider.
And the Jazz are still winning even without having traded off their entire team.
I know.
How is this? I don't know. And Ja Morant, man, if he is not the human highlight reel, unbelievable.
Yeah, he's young legs. Young legs.
Young Tito legs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I just, yeah. And the, Warriors have already dropped too. And they've given up 70 points in the first, in one half of three
But
of
this is how
four
they
of their
started
games.
last season, and they went on to win the championship. So this is
Yeah,
how they started
so-
last season. They
Yeah,
start
I
off
mean,
bad.
way too early for anything. It's just,
Right.
4
They
games
always
in.
start
But
off
the
like
fact
this.
that
No
we're
one thought they
already,
were going to make it.
yeah.
No one thought
yeah.
they were going to make it last season. They ended up getting a chip and a nice ring out there. Now we're watching ring ceremonies first week from them. So they start off like this. I'm not sweating the Warriors. As long as Steph Curry's out there shooting and breathing and living,
shooting and
they're
breathing
destined
and
to do it
living.
back. Yeah, they're destined to go back again. I'm not shook about none of that.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. So before we move on to some sneakers and our picks, I wanted Mo we got a little video of her because you had a grand VIP experience for the Raiders game on Sunday.
Man, boy, did I not expect that.
I'm
Shout
mad
out
they
to
had
Sandra
crab
Douglas
legs up
Morgan,
in that
president of the
thing.
Raiders. Got to get her on. That was very nice of her.
Man.
Shout out to Natasha Gransberry for my clutch.
Yes.
Beautiful from a Texans fan. Opposition even got me a gift. Very nice of her.
I love
Shout out to her. It's beautiful. It's nice and blingy, and it's black and silver, which are my favorite.
Perfect.
But yeah, it was the ultimate fan experience. The tickets for what you're about to see, normally for that Texans game, I looked it up, range from $1,300 to $3,600 for one game per person.
For one ticket.
For a championship lounge experience.
But it's all you can eat, all you can
all
drink.
inclusive, all you can eat, all you can drink, and it gives you access to also the Credit One Lounge, which would be on the opposite side with the same experience, but you're on the opposition's bench. And then you also get access to Twitch Lounge and another lounge across the way because you have to enter through Twitch Lounge to get down to, in Twitch Lounge, you got to pay for everything. We walked around
everything.
Shout out to the local businesses that are vendors in there.
It's
a great lounge experience too. Great viewpoint.
I haven't been in there before.
Go down them stairs, honey. It's a whole other level.
Man. So here's a little video of your experience.
Show it.
So for those who may listen to the show later on, if you watch the video, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to Girl Chat Sports because the video will give you justice. I had to put it in like fast forward.
Well, of course, because it's a long video.
I don't know how slow Mo was walking through this thing, but it was
you have to understand, I had 3 beers in me, so at that point, I gotta walk slow. All those stairs, I'm slip and fall away from hurting myself. I've got to. So
that's very similar to what like Jerry's house has. Their bottom level of the floor level, the ground level of their stadium has that big open area where you're interacting right there on the sidelines. Huge. I love that. Listen, but they don't got the buffet like that.
That buffet was on both sides of the bar, so
and a whole candy section.
Yes,
a whole candy section.
It was all concessions that you normally pay $10 for upstairs, where we're normally
gone
sitting.
Crazy. I would have had a whole purse.
Do you know how much of the red vines I was taking? How many packs?
I would have had everything. Oh, we toned her out. So. While we wait for Mo to come back on, I had one more video I want to share with you because, of course, in 2 weeks, Seattle plays the Bucks in Munich, Germany. And this Tuesday on November 1st, there's a live YouTube video on the Seahawks YouTube page because Marshawn Lynch is in Munich.
It's Marshawn, and they done flew your boy all the way out here to Munich, Germany. International beast mode, you understand me? Whoop, then trick.
There we go.
Oh, I sounded German like a. Let me show you how my OGs used to do me when I was younger, though. You say, you got this shot? All right, let's take it. Woo! This my real life. This my Uncle Palace, though. You feel me?
Yeah, it's easy. Actually, the quarterback is the most important player, actually.
So you got the 10th cousin down there all the way to the left. And then, I mean, you know you can't see to the right, but that's where I got my 20th cousin. I told you we go deep in this.
One of the most important players. It is or not?
That hurt.
He's like the most important player. No.
What's the video where he got caught cussing live? That was funny. He was like, "Oops."
Oh, that was for his because he was not inducted into the Cal
Right.
Hall of Fame. So when the Huskies were
Yes.
there and played on Saturday, he was on live and was, being Marshawn. He has no filter
That
on
is
live TV. And so
hilarious.
he dropped a few bombs on live TV. But the Huskies won that one too.
Oh, good.
So it was a good sports weekend for me this past weekend. But yeah, so
Good.
make sure you check out the Seahawks YouTube. They'll be posting videos, his whole time in Munich there on their YouTube channel as well. So it was pretty funny. I thought that was
funny.
Some good times. For some sneaker drops, we didn't do them last week, but I wanted to do a couple this week. First one being the Air Jordan High OG Starfish. I got this new thing for orange now, so I'm definitely looking at these. These will drop tomorrow.
Nice Cleveland Browns.
I guess I kind of didn't realize there was that little brown there, but I kind of liked
Mhm.
them just for the orange. So we'll see.
No. I'm just saying they look like Cleveland Browns. Like Cleveland Brown fans would go for it.
Neck face. I guess it's a graffiti artist based, I think, in LA. Him and Nike are teaming up for the SB Dunk Lows. These will be out tomorrow as well. For all of our Pete Carroll fans and our daddies out there, New Balance has the 990 collections made in a series of sale in olive colors. These will all be dropping tomorrow as well. We got to make sure dads are looking sporty in their New
But
Balance.
the New Balances are fire right now because there's some 990s out there that are worth a lot of
Yeah,
money.
some of the colorways are great. These ones just looked a little khaki, little.
The top ones are fire though.
Yeah,
I'll do
I don't know
those.
if I'd wear those.
I like
ones,
those.
but yeah.
It's just sneakers again are not just throwing
Preference.
sneakers on. It's a curation of look and style.
Sure.
So if you see the
Stylist.
vision of it, you can definitely make it work.
Okay. These are the Nike Dunk Lows, the Iron Gray, aka the Halloweens. These will be out tomorrow. I was hoping that these were, when I first saw them, the picture made it look kind of like a forest green on top, not the gray. And I was really digging the forest green with the neon green on the bottom, but they're gray. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really need to find me a good forest green, kind of military green sneaker for all my camo stuff. And I have yet to find what I really want. So that's my issue.
Looking, it's out there.
I will. These are the Air Jordan 1 mids. These are splits. This is the beach and cherry wood. These will be out on Friday, the 28th.
Here, so I don't line for those.
I don't even know why.
They look like a checkerboard cake.
It's too much. It wasn't bad enough with the panda looking black and white ones, but now
what does it remind me of? Right. What does it remind me of? That game Backgammon. One side.
Backgammon. My dad used to love backgammon.
Yes. The leather briefcase and open it up. Yes. I feel like they need to come with a backgammon set. Bring backgammon back.
Hilarious. So these ones I know people are looking for, the Air Jordan 4s, the Midnight Navies. These will be out on Saturday, the 29th.
Oh, wow.
And then we've talked about these before. These are the trophies, the 7s, the trophy rooms, because they're basically a tribute to Michael Jordan's Olympic gold medal in Barcelona in 1992. These are supposed to be out November 9th, but now there's this rumor that they could be released sometime later this month. So just to be on the lookout for those.
Yeah.
Well. I mean, for 7s, I'm not a 7 fan, but those aren't bad. I do like the detail in the back.
Yeah, for great collectors.
Yeah. Little girl power. I had mentioned this when I discussed when I had a little spiel at the Nevada Now thing, but Bella Rasmussen, senior at Laguna Beach High School. She scored 2 touchdowns as a running back for the men's varsity football team about 2 weeks ago. She then got invited to like the Rams game and had a whole thing with them this past weekend. She's only the 8th girl in California history to score a touchdown, but she is the first girl
Wow.
to have scored 2 touchdowns in the same game. Major girl power. That's
Yeah,
dope.
definitely.
I
Definitely.
mean, you really that's
Definitely.
yeah.
That's
Shout
pretty,
Derek.
yeah.
He says I'm about to get them Pete Carroll threes.
Yeah, pretty much. And we got the names now, the Pete Carrolls. I'm telling you, we've got some new ones
that
that just
comfort,
arrived at Nordstrom.
that comfort over look is kicking in.
I mean,
right?
listen, like I said, the sneaker game is all about curating a style. I see people with the greatest sneakers on and have wax sense of style, so it doesn't really do anything for me. It's when you could take a sneaker and basically make a look out of it
Make a fit
and
out of it.
make a unique style out of it.
That's why
Don't
you're
care about
our-
none of
our
that of what you got.
fashionista.
How do you put it together is the big piece and added thing bonus to it.
Right.
That's what it's about.
That's what
to
it's
me.
about.
So
I hear you. That's good.
So I can
Me,
see
I'm
them New
just like,
Balances being
throw some
I
leggings
have
and a
potential
hoodie
for
on.
those.
Give me some sneakers. That's my life.
I know, very unassuming and easy. I get it,
That's it.
but
But I know you. You got your pearls on, and you got
the
your
easy sweatshirt. I put on some fours. I just do a whole little style.
And you
Well,
do
that's
it.
the
Yeah, I love
trend.
it.
That's what
And
you
I
do.
love
You
it.
make a unique style. But
Everybody
I ain't
has
wearing my
their
J's. I
style.
told you they're too heavy, so I'm gonna have to get some
Okay.
Pete Carrolls too.
They did
saw
have some
some.
New Balances that were coming out this week too, but I just didn't. It was
I
too.
actually
I already
saw
had
some
too
New
many
Balances. We got into Nordstrom that are way
multicolored
fly
ones
that I
are
think I
pretty
might
nice.
cop.
Okay, so last week's pick'ems, we tied 1-1 because
We gotta pick the same along some things.
we did, but then the ones that we did, I mean, there was just a lot of. Plus, none of us picked. A lot of the Panthers beating the Bucks. Who expected that one?
I would have never expected that. That should have been, yeah. Tom Brady's going
mean,
through it, so I'm just gonna pick everything.
The
against
Commanders
the Bucks
beating the Packers. Who would have thunk it?
That's all telling
Yeah.
of what Green Bay is
So
struggling with right now.
currently, I'm leading 3-1-1 because now we have a tie.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for everybody out there in fantasy, there are bye weeks this week are for the Chiefs and Chargers, so it's not as drastic as last week when we had 4 teams and some great teams and players
Are
out.
they a bye? I thought they were week 9. Are they not?
Chiefs
They're
and
week 8?
Chargers.
Really?
Yep,
I thought
Chiefs and
I thought the
Chargers.
Chiefs were week 9.
Mm-mm.
So I drafted Mahomes because it was a long draft, but maybe not.
No, sorry.
2 divisional teams in the same bye week. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So you got the Ravens at the Bucks for Thursday night football.
I'm still gonna
My
roll
question
with the
is-
Bucks because I feel like they have to do something. I mean, no, honestly, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Ravens. You know why? Tom Brady publicly berated his whole O-line. They could give a F about him right now at this point. You berated us, you talked bad about us, you yelled at us. We're not performing for you. And I think that's what's happening to him right now. Unless he has sent apology Rolexes to them, the only way they're going to show up because he literally berated them like that on the field. So they could get
cameras caught it all. Cameras caught
They
it all.
did. And I feel like his O-line was like, we're turning on you. We know you're going through a divorce. You didn't even show up to the early practice. We did. We've been going to games. We've been doing the work. And you going to yell at us? Nah, unless he sent some apology Rolexes, I don't see them turning around anytime soon.
I'm only going for the Bucks because this is my last week that I'm gonna keep Tom Brady starting. This is it. This is final. So if you don't show up today, Tom, or tomorrow, Tom, you are now officially benched.
He may. I mean, I can see that going that way. I really could. But
the Ravens defense hasn't necessarily been doing phenomenal.
No, they haven't.
Lamar had a terrible week last week. So
right.
We don't know.
But I feel like he has something to prove this week. And Tom Brady, like I said.
Yeah. We got the Sunday early game, 6:30 in the morning for all you Broncos and Jaguar fans. The Broncos and Jaguar fans have crossed the pond to London. Russell's back. He's ready to ride it in London. I don't know if I should just say, yeah, let's go, Russell, because I have Cortland Sutton, who I think should still be able to do something at some point.
I'm very curious to see what they can do outside of the Mile High. But Jags have been.
At least they won't have as many fans booing them. Maybe they'll have more people cheering for.
I don't know. I like Jag. I like what Trevor Lawrence is doing out there, and I like what the Jags coach has going on. So I'm gonna go with the Jags.
Okay.
I don't want them. I want them to stay dead last anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jags. I just don't see anything changing I don't see anything changing with Russell.
Maybe 4 hours of stretch will give
And
them
here's
some
the deal:
momentum.
they usually have some huge, Halloween thing. So maybe I feel like Sierra and Russell already did like a Halloween shoot, and come Saturday night, Sierra's gonna post it, and then everybody's gonna go start, circling the media again, and then now he's off his game. It happened to us for like 3 years straight. There would always be some post right before a holiday or whatever, and then boom, we lose the game. So that's just my theory. You heard it here first.
Well, he's not a Seahawk anymore. He's Denver, so maybe it'll change.
Maybe we shall.
You'll see. I don't know.
All right, Chicago at Dallas. Man, this Dallas team, I really hate to say it.
I'm going with Dallas. Dak Prescott is back, and I hate that I dropped him.
And their defense is looking good.
And I hate that I dropped Dak because I meant to pick him up off of waivers.
You dropped him?
Yeah, I did the stupid thing because I was going to pick him back up early, and I totally spaced it because I picked up Danny Dimes, and Danny Dimes is doing his doggone thing. Danny Dimes got me points last week. Shout out to the Giants, Danny Dimes.
Okay. All right.
But yeah.
All right, going Dallas. I still can't technically
root
for them. It just doesn't.
I know I hate them, but I'm going with them. I need to win.
I just, you've heard it here. I admit that they are good. We'll see how long for, because we know everybody in Dallas land is thinking they're already won the Super Bowl now because Dak is back and they won a game against the Lions. But hey, who's to say? All right, so Miami at Detroit. Detroit kept with Dallas for the first half. It was the second half where things just all unraveled. But you've got Miami going to Detroit. I don't know.
I see Miami winning that game.
I mean, they seem
they got Tyreek Hill. I'm not counting them out. They barely
beat the well, yeah. I don't know. God,
I'm going Miami.
I feel like this has to be the time where I've been
Detroit turns
back in the Lions for a little while. I feel like, they've been so close. They're like within one score for so many games. Like there's got to be one. Hopefully it's at home field.
But they've lost at home this season too. So
I know they lost us. But maybe after week 8, the halfway point almost. We're almost halfway.
Yeah.
Maybe something changes. I don't know. We got the Cardinals at the Vikings. You definitely for sure have
that's an ugly game.
DeAndre Hopkins back. You still have, what is it, Ryan Anderson or Bobby Anderson?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to the Cards. Because he's got a full squad now, so there shouldn't be any excuses, Kyler.
Well, their defense has been kind of...
It's been shaky. It's been bad. And I think...
and Cousins has been... Vikings was your team. Like, you was rolling with the Vikings the last couple weeks. That was they were pulling out for you.
I know. And the Vikings have been covering, too, for me. But, I mean, with D-Hop back... Is it in Minnesota this year?
It's in Minnesota.
this week?
Yeah.
Jeez. They might do well at home. All right. Just put me to the Vikings. Let me just keep it rolling.
All right.
Don't change me back to Cards.
I'm going to go Vikings.
Yeah, just keep me to the Vikings. I'm not going to go Cards. Yeah.
All right. Raiders at the Saints. We'll go with you guys.
I'm going with the Raiders.
Can do it.
Even though Saints is my second team and the Superdome is a monster. Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Yes,
Superdome.
It is. They have like 5 levels. It's a monster,
but I think after the win against the Texans, this is the tide that the Raiders turn where we become 500. You hear me?
Right.
The next few consecutive games, because after New Orleans, we travel over to Duval.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna roll with getting 500 and everybody else is just gonna fall. We're gonna get a run. So this is part of the run.
Mm-hmm. All right, the Patriots at the Jets. Listen, there was some major issues with the Patriots on Monday night between Mac Jones, then what's his name, Cappy. What's the other guy's name? Shoot,
I didn't see any games of my own on Sunday. I'm sorry, I didn't watch anything except that Sunday night.
Bailey Zappi. That's it, Zappi. They pulled Mac Jones out. The whole crowd was cheering for Zappi. They put Zappi and he got a touchdown, but then shortly after that, it just looked like Mac Jones part 2. So, I'm going to roll. The Jets have looked good. New York team right now, the New York football state is really looking great, unfortunately, for the rest of us. All right, got Pittsburgh at Philly. I don't think there's a question here, but then, hey, you never know.
Philadelphia.
Any given Sunday.
I know, but it's not going to be Pittsburgh to do it.
No.
That's not. I'm sorry. It might be, but I doubt it. Stranger things have happened with Pittsburgh when they do win.
It's happened. I mean, yeah.
I mean, didn't they knock out Tampa Bay?
I know JJ Watt is not JJ Watt, TJ Watt. Isn't
TJ Watt, yeah.
Yeah. Is he playing right? I think I saw it. No, it's JJ Watt that I think is coming back from IR, but not yet. He was practicing. I can't remember. Anyway, Titans at Houston. You've been rolling with your Titans. Houston just lost the Raiders. Titans won last week.
I'm gonna roll with the Titans and the bulldozer of Derrick Henry. See what it does.
Yeah, although I don't see him on highlight reels much.
I don't
like,
either. They've been finding a way to stop him, but he's a freight train. I don't know how, but I just think the Texans just don't really have the potential to beat anybody.
No.
Sadly.
All right, the Commanders at the Colts. Again, you've heard me hear that, and maybe this guy's got something, but the new Indiana the Colts quarterback has not made one NFL pass attempt in his 2-year career.
I mean, he's got Jonathan Taylor on the line too. So Jonathan Taylor's the top running back.
Is back.
So if you're just doing a passing run game each time, then I can roll with the Colts on that because I got to go with them. I got Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy. I need him to put up big numbers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see the Commanders pulling through this one too well, especially with them being healthy. Now, had it been last week when everybody was injured for the Colts, that might have been a different story.
That part.
All right, we got the 49ers at the Rams. The Rams haven't been looking especially great lately. You've got the Niners, of course, with McCaffrey. You got Debo, everybody. I got to go with the Rams at home.
I'm going with the Rams too because I got Matt Stafford on my fantasy league. And I'm toying with who I need to either put him in or Russell in, or I have Danny Dimes. I got 3. I don't know why I got 3. Oh, I know why I got 3 because of the bye week.
Just trying to hoard all the QBs.
So I had taken Danny Dimes and he balled out for me, but I don't want to drop him because I think he's great. I don't know.
Hey. All right, the big game this weekend. It's Halloween weekend. The Giants are in Seattle. I know some people some of my friends are already out there for the game. The Giants have been looking great. Listen, if Seattle wins this game, we are officially a good team.
You are. You really are.
Like there's skepticism. We're all excited. We're all like, can't believe this is actually us. But if we can win this game, we're good. Like we are able to hopefully hang in because the Giants are good.
They're really good.
I got to go with my team, but
I know, of course. Your team is like they got the 12th man of the ambiance and the sound and stuff. I don't know what it is, and
the rain has started, so who knows what the weather's going to be like.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to New Yorkers. They get that too. They get snow.
Oh yeah,
I mean they don't care.
But it matters as far as the scoring game. I mean, we have the highest scoring, team so far. We've been racking up points left and right.
Yeah.
But it would change things.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go with New York. I'm just gonna go the opposite. Okay. I think Seattle definitely has a potential to win, and that would definitely solidify you guys as a legitimate team. Because it does come down to, and I think what happened to AD? Jesus Christ.
He fell again.
He got hurt. He's holding his head. I don't know.
He was hurt last week too. We remember that game. I was like, down.
Forever street clothes. Forever street clothes. Yeah. Just be a fashion model at this point.
You could hook up with Liz Cambage, and they can just do
do the tall tier modeling. Tall top tier modeling. The athletic edition.
All right, Packers at Buffalo.
I'm going with Buffalo, of course. You know what you mean. You got to. You'd be stupid not to. You'd be stupid to pick the Green Bay Packers on
unless the Packers somehow pick up a wide receiver like tomorrow.
A good wide receiver.
Right, a good
wide receiver.
I don't see any changes happening for Aaron Rodgers.
No.
All right, Monday Night Football. Got the Bengals at the Browns. Joe Burrow finally had a great game, connected with his receivers last weekend, and you're going up against the Browns at home. This is a big rivalry game here. The Ohio people hate each other.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Bengals and Browns fans.
This is where it goes, yeah. I'm going with the Browns, though. I'm going to roll with them. I just need them to do better. That's all.
Ordinarily, I would go with the Browns because I do... I love the Browns.
Are they playing in Cincy? Or are they playing in Cleveland?
They're playing in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Joe, what he did last weekend, who they play?
I know. He might be back. He might be Joe Burr, but
he might be Joe Burr. They played the Falcons.
Well, that
Falcons
ain't.
the Falcons have done decent, not
Yeah, but they're
terrible, but
no, because they've got Mariota now. It's
yeah.
fair, but I don't think it's
All
great.
right. I'm gonna roll with the Bengals just because hopefully my Browns fans don't shoot me for it. But
I know, because
that's
I
it.
thought you were a Brownies girl.
I am, but I just feel like
No, come on.
I don't know.
You can't be a Brownies girl and pick opposite of the Brownies.
But it's also we're pick'ems. We can't always just play. I can have my own certain hatreds for games that I can never root for, but I can still pick.
You always root for your home team.
I root for my
else
team.
On a second team.
My team's the Seahawks, so I'm always roll.
Yeah, you always roll with your home team, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna do the second home team. I get it. Because there's times I like the Saints. Saints is my second team, but you gotta be realistic.
But you can't always, be realistic.
Yeah,
I just feel like Joe had a phenomenal game last weekend. I feel like it could roll over into, the Ohio battle.
That's
Anyways,
interesting
y'all,
for them to get a Monday night game.
Yeah. Thank God it's not the Broncos. Another prime time episode.
Jesus.
Y'all, thank you for watching. If you're just catching the tail end of this, of course, you can watch the replay. You can also go to YouTube, subscribe to Girl Chat Sports, hit us up on all social media, Girl Chat Sports. Join our group on Facebook. It's a private group because we like to have a safe place for people to talk.
We do.
And share their sports
and we talk
stories.
Nothing strictly but sports.
Yes. So please join us. Take care, and we will catch y'all.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Out there, share the costumes in the group. Let's see those costumes.
And be safe out there trick-or-treating or any party that you go to. Just be safe.
Absolutely. All right. We'll talk to y'all later. See you next week. Bye.